they observe a lot of videos, and that's why I thought you'd like to see.
First of all, Happy New Year. It's 2025. I'd like to talk about the books that I've read this month. I've read 5 books this month and we'll possibly finish out to 6. So we'll talk about those books, what I thought about them. I might be able to provide a little bit of spoiler-free reviews and maybe give you some ratings as well, so that way you can make an informed decision if these are some books that you might be interested reading about, or if you've already read them, we can discuss, and I'd love to hear your thoughts. For anyone who is returning, I appreciate you so much for coming back. If you are new here, my name is Ree, and we talk books, bookish things, book tech, anything that's gonna make our life easier. I'm all about doing product reviews, but for the most part, I really love a good cozy vibe, and books are very much a part of that for me. So welcome, y'all. We're gonna dive right into these books. Let's get started. So I told y'all we're gonna talk about these books. I have a few notes on my phone, just like in terms of reviews. Let's do John Marr's The One. This was interesting because it's not like any other psychological thriller that I've read. It also categorizes it as a little bit of sci-fi and maybe psychological thriller. What I really enjoyed about this was that the chapters were very short. And although you are following the storyline of multiple characters, it's very digestible because of the short chapters. The chapters kind of leave you on a cliffhanger. So in that way, you want to keep learning more about what's gonna happen next. I do think there's a show that's out on Netflix. If a DNA swab could find your soulmate, would you take the test? How far would you go to find the one? It's following 5 different people. And at first I was like, oh my gosh, how am I gonna keep up with them? I think because the chapters are so short, it's just like boom, boom, boom. You just wanna keep going. Basically, it's following the stories of these 5 people who receive a match and sort of just how that pans out. I think I rated it a 4, but I would like to confirm that. I rated it a 4. I thought it was twisty, but it wasn't scary. Definitely more of a psychological twist. I also said I thought I would be overwhelmed by the characters and following each story, but loved the pace. You are left at an interesting cliff at the end, but it's open to interpretation. So if you're a person that's like, oh my gosh, I hate cliffhangers at the end of the book, I don't know if you'll necessarily hate it because it's open to your interpretation. So yeah, that is The One by John Marr's. I almost DNF'd this book, y'all. I'm not gonna lie to you. I almost DNF'd this book because I think you have to be in a particular place or mood to read this book, and I just must not have been in that mood. It was not the literary fiction type of book that I was looking for. Tell Me Everything by Elizabeth Strout. I couldn't get into it. I really could. I wanted to, and I almost DNF'd it. I was listening to it on audiobook and I had to speed it up and just get through it. Tell Me Everything, it's in a small town in Maine, I think Crosby, Maine, and it's following 4 main characters that are telling their story. It's a lot of storytelling between older people and them navigating life, but it just wasn't for me. I don't know, I don't want to give too much into it. I think y'all should just look into the synopsis and see if you like what it's about. I just had higher hopes for it. I think the writing is still good. It's just very slow paced and there's really not a lot of plot. It's all about the people, which could be okay, but the topic itself felt very stale to me. It wasn't super interesting. So that's Tell Me Everything by Elizabeth Strout. But again, I would encourage you to just check it out and see if it's something that might be interesting to you. Because I think like the right place and right time, maybe I would have enjoyed that a little bit more, you know? However, I do have a book that also falls into the literary fiction category or historical fiction that I can recommend, and Wait, because listen, you probably have already read this, and I wish I had read this sooner. The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. Oh my gosh, come on. If you know, you know. But if you don't know, let me tell you about this book. I wasn't expecting to like this book as much as I did. Where do I begin? Old Hollywood, you're following Evelyn Hugo, who is a reclusive Hollywood icon. Evelyn is having an autobiography done. She wants a book written on her life, so she's giving her honest truth and going through her journey of fame during old Hollywood. There's love, scandal, and all the things. The writing is so beautiful, and I love the storytelling. Character development was done super, super well. It is complex. It's not like so super straightforward, but it was incredible to read. And I also would highly recommend that you check this out on audiobook if you can. They did a great job. Highly recommend. I actually rated this as a 4.5. We're a fan. We love The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. If you have read this book, let me know what you think. And if you've read anything else by this writer, let me know, because I want more suggestions. Definitely send them my way. Okay, next up, this is Love Redesigned by Lauren Asher. I rated this as a 4. It's a contemporary romance. This was spicier than I thought. Like, this was spicy. Hold up, Julian, because calm down. No. Julian and Dahlia, there was no calming those two down. Those are 2 fire signs just waiting to combust. Childhood rivalry, forced proximity, workplace romance, enemies to lovers. I mean, they've got all those types of tropes going on. I thought this was a lot of fun, and this was a great palette refresher for me because I wanted to read this before I went into another thriller. I gave this a 4-star. They have dual narrators too, so one for Julian, one for Dahlia. Those are the 2 main characters, and chef's kiss, y'all, chef's kiss. So if you're into romances and you like a little spice in your life, go ahead and check this one out. It's Love Redesigned by Lauren Asher. Moving on, the historical fiction, literary fictions were popping this month for me, and I really wanted to diversify the genres because I tend to read a lot of mystery and thriller. I've been trying to have a diverse mix of reading each month. Sometimes it pans out, sometimes it's straight thriller, but I love the format of reading thriller, mysteries, and then moving on to historical fiction, literary fiction, or romance. That's sort of been something that has worked really nicely for me. This was a book club pick for January, and I'm just really, really pleasantly surprised with this book. It's following the women that served during the Vietnam War. You are following Frankie, or Frances, throughout her journey and her experiences. I thought the writing was so beautiful. I was expecting to cry. It was sad. I didn't cry though, but the writing was absolutely beautiful, and like, this writer is so descriptive. Really good writing. I like to do immersive reading, so I'll do both. And I actually thought the audiobook was fine, but I did have to speed it up. And I may also have just adjusted to a bit of a faster talking speed for audiobooks. I don't know. If you do audiobooks, let me know what speed you like to listen to, because I kind of range between like 1.5 to 1.75. And like towards the end, I was at like a 2. It sounded like people enjoyed the reading experience over listening to it on audio, if that helps at all. But I would love to read more by Kristen Hanna. I would love to read more from her. If you have something that you like, I think The Nightingale is on my TBR. I know she has other books. So if you have recommendations, let me know. I rated this as a 4. On to my 5th book that I'm trying to wrap up for this month, called The Last Time I Lied. It's by Riley Sager, and I'm about 70% into this book, and it's okay. I did hit a major plot twist. Let me tell you a little bit about this. This is following Emma from a first-person point of view, and it's shifting between present and past tense. So it goes into her current day, but then we'll shift back to 15 years prior to when she joined this summer camp, and the girls she roomed with at the summer camp went missing, and there were 3 girls. She gets re-invited to go back to this camp 15 years later as an instructor, but she's really coming to see if she can sort of crack the code of what happened to those girls. So you're following her point of view the whole time. I'd say it's okay. If I finish wrapping it up by the time this video goes out, I'll let y'all know what I ended up rating it as. Would love it if it was a little bit more faster paced. So let's just see how it wraps up. But yeah, those are all the books that I read. I do have a haul from Thriftbooks. I don't know if y'all have ever ordered anything from Thriftbooks, but I just came across them. These are pre-owned and used books. Okay. This is called Some Kind of Happiness, and it's by Claire Legrand, or Legrand. I don't know if I'm saying her name right. Hopefully I'm not butchering it. I think this is actually a children's book, but it was rated so highly that I got curious and I was like, oh, I wouldn't mind reading that. Her parents were having problems, but they pretend they're not. Being sent to her grandparents' house for the summer, never having met said grandparents. Her blue days, when life feels overwhelming, it's hard to keep her head up. That happens a lot. Finley's only retreat is the Everwood, a forest kingdom that exists in the page of her notebook. Until she discovers the endless forest behind her grandparents' house and realizes the Everwood is real and it's in trouble. With the help of her cousins, Finley sets out on a mission to save it, but as the mystery piles up and Finley's reality and fantasy start to collide, she realizes that if she wants to save the Everwood, she'll have to save herself. Okay. I think the audio is also on Hoopla. When I'm in this kind of mindset, I feel like this could be a really cozy vibe, hopefully. Let me know if you read this. Again, this is actually a children's book, so we'll see. I'm sure it's gonna be amazing, but I'm excited. Also, just looking at the quality of the book, you can definitely, like, some books are gonna be like brand new and in pretty good condition. This one is clearly worn quite a bit. This is The Joy Luck Club by Amy Tan. Oh, this is interesting. Wait, what is this really about? I think this just came up in a lot of different lists, which sparked my curiosity. So it's following 4 Chinese women, recent immigrants to San Francisco. They call themselves the Joy Luck Club. Rather than sink into tragedy, they choose to gather to raise their spirits and money. It's considered a classic, so yeah, I'm excited about this. It seems like it'll be pretty good. Like a thought-provoking type of book and text. Ooh, okay. Literary fiction, Sula by Toni Morrison. I haven't read a Toni Morrison book, but I feel like I need to, because anybody who's into literary fiction just absolutely loves and adores this writer here. So I'm sure she's incredibly talented. I'm excited to read a book of hers. This is following the lives of 2 Black women from their close-knit childhood in a small Ohio town and their different paths of womanhood. And it's following these 2 women who have 2 different lives that grew up together. Eventually, both women must face the consequences of their choices. Together, they create an unforgettable portrait of what it means and costs to be a Black woman in America. Okay. It's a short read. It's 174 pages. I would love to dive into this one weekend. It sounds incredible. So excited about that. This is called Tuesdays with Maury. Another book that I kept hearing about, and it was just like, oh, it's like a beautiful book. An old man, a young man, and a life's great lesson. So I actually have the audiobook for this one. It came available on Libby, and I feel like this is a short read too. Yeah, it's 192 pages. So I might dive into this one pretty soon. I'm hoping in the month of February for sure. I've heard some incredible things. Another touching book with hopefully a beautiful message. It says the runaway bestseller that changed millions of lives. I'm into it. What else do we have? This is the last book of the haul. If you stayed around for this long, you're a real one. I appreciate you. Here's an example of a book that did not come with a sleeve. They mention this in the website description as well. They'll tell you the condition that it's in, and they'll let you know if there's like anything missing. So it's not like I didn't know, I'm just highlighting what the Thriftbooks haul looks like. So this one is called The Hate You Give. You can see it right here, by Angie Thomas. All right, this is considered young adult, and it is following 16-year-old Star Carter, who moves between worlds, the poor neighborhood where she lives and the fancy suburban prep school she attends. So she has kind of two different universes, and the uneasy balance between these two worlds is shattered when Star witnesses the fatal shooting of her childhood best friend Khalil at the hands of a police officer. Oh, Khalil was unarmed. Soon afterward, it's following basically what happens within her community and how this might impact her life. So it's interesting. I'm reading that it's a very descriptive, realistic type of book. I'm really looking forward to reading this. I'm also probably just going to wait for the audio to become available so I can do my immersive reading with this one. But I think that concludes the haul from Thriftbooks. Let me know if y'all have gotten anything from Thriftbooks. I don't think they have a storefront. I think it's all online. So that was the plus side of going on Thriftbooks. $11 for 5 books. I'm not mad at all. I'm a library girl through and through, but I will absolutely get down on some pre-owned books. That makes me so happy. I also discovered Pango Books not too long ago. I like their shop as well, but the only thing is I need to try and find shops that I like their collection of books. It makes sense because shipping can get expensive if you're not shopping from the same shop. Almost think of it like Etsy, you know? So I just need to find the right people to follow on Pango. If I find that, then it's a wrap. Oh, also, very random, but I have to share because this is a bookish thing. I did get this new cover from Etsy, and it's for my Kindle Basic. I have the Matcha Kindle Basic. I have a whole unboxing on that if you want to check that out. But this is like the updated case for her, and we love her. She's so cute. I think she's adorable. I was reading The Last Time I Lied. Also, of course, have the digital. Y'all, are y'all like that too, where you have the audio, the Kindle, the physical? I don't know. I just wanted to show y'all. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but I did get some new fonts. I think they're all from Google Fonts. It was fairly simple to install. There's a font folder that you just pop them into once you download them. I love being able to change out my fonts depending on what I'm reading. If you've stuck around to the end of this video, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Please let me know what types of videos y'all want to see in the future. I thought doing a sit down and talking to y'all more so in this video would be nice because it's been a while. But if you like the vlog, no talking style type of videos, I can film more of that, but I'd love to know what y'all want to see. And please let me know what y'all have read this month as well. Drop it in the comments. Let me know if you've read any of the books that I've shared too. I hope y'all had a great reading month, and I'll see y'all next time. Thank you so much. Okay, bye.